Hey there, and welcome to part 8 of the Draconian Transmuter of Rue. My name is Ic0n, and I'm sitting here and watching this game slowly end, and along the next episode, or episodes, I'm gonna see if my little fantasy here is doomed to crash and burn, or if I'm able to take out the orb, win this game. That would be nicer than crashing and burning. So I actually realized that I'm not going to use this kind of gales. Okay. And we have Bazaar on this level. Ain't that nice? I have 503 gold pieces on me. That's not really much. And this situation is super bad. I'm gonna get swarmed by these. And while they're not that strong, I feel like I want to try out a different staircase here. I hope that's not the best entry to Vaults 2. Alright, looks better. Let's magic map into this. And I'm gonna use a little trick. If you shift X and then go for the downstairs button, you'll notice there are two, this one is an entry and this one is an entry, but I can see this tile set looks pretty much like a treasure trove. I'm pretty sure that this will be a treasure trove. My bet is the caravan or the bazaar entry is sitting here, so I'm gonna try to rush towards there. Alright, let's put up the regen and hope we can kill these guys pretty quickly. Alright. Door got shut. Not too unexpected though. But it looks like if I keep up the regen, this fight is easy. Alright. I really want to reach this bazaar, even though I don't have too much money. And I realized that I really want to have lesser beckoning at my disposal here. That would be super sweet. And that brings me to the point where I made up my mind a bit and I've decided to learn a bit of translocations to have the blink available and the lesser beckoning. That's the plan. Those are only level 2 and 3 spells, so yeah, look there, I was right. And this guy is wielding a short sword of distortion. I don't want to let him get close and let him sneak in the lucky shot, banishing me into the abyss. That would be super annoying. Alright, I made it. I'm here at the bazaar. And I'm just walking here, having a look around the scenery. It's nice to be in a friendly place once in a while. And there's this pair of embroidered gloves. I don't think I want to swap out with these archery gloves, because I feel like they do a lot for this little hand crossbow. Nothing too interesting here either. The general store offers some potion of curing, but that's actually the most interesting thing. Well, those tomahawks of dispersal might come in handy, but I don't feel like spending money for that. Some nice potions. I think I'm gonna leave some money here, but I want to check out the last shop first. Well, it turns out it's a gadget shop, and no, I don't see anything I need too desperately here. The lamp of fire is pretty nice from time to time, but I don't want to spend money for that. It doesn't feel too good. Instead, I'm gonna invest my money into this. And how many mutation potions do I have? 9 of them. Nah, don't need more. Magic potions. Do I want those? I don't think so. I mean, I have 5 of them on me already. And I want to be a bit careful with the money I spend, because I feel like if I'm gonna run into a lucky bookshop at some point, I want to have some gold and not be at 0 gold because I bought all these potions of magic And then I'm sitting there and can't buy the book with statue form or something like that in it. That would be super annoying. Alright, let's proceed. I feel like I want to check out the trove back there. And so I'm gonna head over there. Let's check this room first though. I want to know what it wants from me. That should be doable. Let's turn on the regen and slaughter these small dudes. Okay, that made the situation a bit more interesting. So I'm gonna check. He's wearing a chainmail. He's wearing a chainmail too. I think I'm good fighting those. Okay. It's only a war X on him. Alright, that should be okay, even though he got the might buff from the other night. And with these fights, it's always worth checking their gear to be sure if some of these guys is not wearing a enchanted plate armor or something like that. I ran into an orc knight with a +8 armor of pondering once. Took me ages to kill this guy. And then afterwards I realized what happened. It was pretty funny though. Alright, so there's an ogre mage. And there's a two-headed ogre. Okay, let's go. I want to try if intoxication does anything for me. Well, it confused two of them and I got where to go. Was that worth it? I don't know. Didn't feel too funky here. Alright, but I'm taking these guys down anyways. That's no problem. Okay, Blink is still at 19%, so it looks like I really need to pump up some more translocations here. I really want to have this spell at my disposal. It's some nice everyday tool, and it's a good fallback option if I'm ever out of power leap. It's nice to know that I have another option of mobility on me. Alright, same situation. I'm gonna try this spell a bit. Two of them are confused. Well, turns out it's not that completely useless. If I ever smack a mage or something like that, it's gonna be pretty good. And as far as I understood it, this spell is not checking on magic resistance. Well, let's check it out. Let's ask Beam. If you have a question, ask Beam. It's a very useful companion. Alright, so chance of confusing. Alright. It's checking against poison resistance actually, that's pretty sweet. Alright, there we go. I hope this spell will be of some use against Draconians and Zod. If not, well... Then my transmutations level is not high enough. Well, looked like the chance is strongly dependent on the spell power, so... 18 scrolls of identification, so I better start saving here. Oh, well, there's one on depths, but... I remember depths 3. Turned out to be a true nightmare of a depths level, including some nasty vault. Oh, there's another sacrifice. Okay. Inhibited regeneration. Ugh. That's pretty pukey. I think I'm gonna go for another essence sacrifice, because that will fill up my piety, and I'm already down to 20% MP and I'm used to it, so 3 points. I mean, it's certainly less, but brew indicates that your awakening is complete, so it was the final cut. Now I am, what's my name now? I'm a drop of water. Alright. I thought I'd be something more impressive at this point, Rue. Turns out I'm just a drop of water, bringing the apocalypse. That sounds pretty weird. You know that, Rue? You're a pretty weird god. But overall, my spiritual powers are now fully evolved. I have maximum power on the retaliations and everything. The self-heal and the power leap damage are at its max now too. And that's really sweet about this guy, because you don't need to level invocations at all. It's certainly some good thing about Rue. And that's actually very good for me as a transmuter. And this game, it really wants to show me, hey, Ic0n, why are you wielding this sword? Go for axes, man. Axes are a way to go here. You're still wielding this stupid sword. So I'm actually at the point where I'm trying to wield one of these things, but it turns out it's crap. Nah, keep your axes, dungeon. I don't trust you. You're my enemy. So I feel like the sword's decision is kind of hard to bear with, but the scimitar is a good one. And as long as I run into a few more rich ancient weapon scrolls, I will have a good source of holy damage as well. And this will help me in the end game against cursed toes, ancient liches, and all those super bad stuff. That's actually very easy to bring down with some sort of holy damage. That's the theory here. That's the dream. Maybe it comes true. Maybe I get bullied down by something else way before Zod. Don't know yet. Alright. But turns out Waltz is a pretty breeze thing to do here. Overall, I didn't run into very ugly situations apart from ugly things here. And that means I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get smacked pretty soon. Every time I think, oh, that's pretty cool, everything's gravy, I'm gonna power leap over this guy. I wanna kill the Rakshasa. Most of these guys are not real. I really hate Rakshasa overall. They're so annoying enemies. I mean, this time it was only Dark Elf Knight he could clone, but if he starts doing this with Juggernauts or Caustic Strikes, you're certainly in for some trouble. Alright. Never underestimate a Rakshasa. That's the long story short. These are really dangerous dudes. Amplifying their environment pretty hard. And that's an army of Deep Elf Magi. Holy crap. I'm gonna stand around the corner. That should work. Pump up the regen. Kill the green dude. And conquer the rest. I really feel like I'm pretty able to do Elf 3. And hopefully I'm gonna find some more useful magic for this little dude. Because I'm really starved for some badassdom here. Alright, Blink's down to a good percentage. Lesser Beckoning as well. So I have no spell ranks left. And since somehow I don't run into any amnesia scrolls anymore. Looks like the game has forgotten the amnesia scrolls. Pun intended. Well, I need to bring up some more spell levels, so I'm going to train some spell casting. And this will also decrease the spell hunger. That's pretty good overall too. That's a lot of knights. I want to step around the corner, make sure See Invisible is on, because the knights often come with invisibility spell. And if you're not able to see invisible, you should take these situations way more serious than I did here. Bunch of invisible hasted Deep Elf Knights is very hard to kill. And they're not bursting you down in 1 or 2 turns, but it's a slow and steady army wearing you down. Alright, but not in this scenario. Here we're winning clearly and killing everything in our sights. Oh well, Waltz is pretty good to us. I'm actually pretty happy in terms of experience progression here. because I really need some more training to bring silence online. Because right now, oh well, with a potion of brilliance I could do that actually. And I feel like it's a good idea to do so, because this guy, he's really dangerous. So I'm gonna do this. Let's quaff the brilliance. And this brings silence to 3%. That's pretty sweet. I miscast silence with 3%. Huh. That's something. Alright, turns out in silence I can't leap anymore, but that's no problem at all. I could walk there. Alright, so I'm terribly surrounded here, but these spellcasters are all disabled, so I'm focusing them down pretty hard. And that's when shit got real. Okay, so this Annihilator is really bad news. I'm down to potions. I feel like Berserk Rage is a good thing to do right now, because I really need to get shit done pretty quickly here, and I need to get this Annihilator down before my silence wears off. And that worked out pretty well. But as soon as the Berserk Rage ends, I feel like I really have to take some other action, because I don't know if I'm able to win this fight afterwards. But for now, I want to take down the Wolf Spider next, because these are really annoying people to deal with. So after the Berserk, I'm slowed. That's a bit shitty. So actually, I'm still silenced. Okay, it's the last few turns. I'm gonna try to kite back here. Okay, silence wore off. Perfect. I feel like I should be able to fight this with regen on until the slow wears off. At least as long as I'm not surrounded like before. Yeah. Turns out I'm very fine here. I think that was a good use of the Berserk Rage potion, because that opened me a window to kill all these very dangerous dudes in one silence duration. Ugh, all sort of distortion. Damn. It feels so bad every time I see those lying on the ground, and my imagination goes wild. What could have happened? I should have noticed that. Well, maybe I'm gonna configure that. I'm gonna get some automatic warning as soon as these guys show up. Alright, Rue paralyzed my enemy. Turns out he only does that when you're at max piety. That's pretty strong. Getting a surprise paralysis on an enemy into every now and then. Somehow Rue feels pretty OP as soon as you hit the max piety, but I don't feel like he's overpowered, because those sacrifices you have to do, those are major strategical decisions that are not easy made. You can really screw up your whole game if you make one wrong decision and you can't revert it. You're stuck with it for the rest of the game. There's no way to take back a sacrifice for to Rue. So that's why I think he's a good, well-balanced god, actually. It's okay that his stuff provides so much. Okay, so those are really nasty guys. A lot of HP. It's 80 on the Death Knight, 150 on the Ghoul, and this warrior also is really strong. What I'm gonna do? I don't think I'm gonna win this if I'm just gonna stand into this and whack him. I do have an option to Holy Wrath, but +2 is pretty shitty, actually. I don't know if it's worth the effort going into this. I don't like this. I really pretty much prefer to fight these one by one. This ghoul is concerning me a bit. But I want to get rid of the Phantasmal Warrior. That's the first thing I'm going to do. So that was a success. I'm standing in front of this Death Knight and don't want to fight him like that. So I think I'm pretty safe to fall back to the stairs. Yeah. I think that's the best thing to do here. Because separated, there are no problem to deal with. But together, I think this could have been a really dangerous fight. Maybe I'm wrong, but better safe than sorry, I'd say. Here we go. Got them down. Everything's fine. I'm still alive. That's the way I like it. Hello, Boris. Ugh. I hate this guy. Alright. So let's check his spells for a moment. It's pretty dangerous. But not immediately deadly like liches usually are. That's what you get with Boris. He's like a discount lich. But he's immortal. And that's the problem with this discount lich. So how to deal with this guy? If I'm gonna kill him, he's just gonna respawn somewhere else. I really don't want that. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna park him here. And I'm gonna try to take it downstairs meanwhile and leave him here. It's way better than this guy spawning somewhere else. I mean, you can chunk him down, but he's certainly annoying, and I think it's way easier to just do this. Is it quick? Nah. So right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave him here, wait till the exhaustion of the power leap wears off. Ow. I see that hurts. So my exhaustion is off. Rue paralyzed him. I'm gonna power leap once more, and I'm gonna take it downstairs and let Boris be Boris. You're immortal. You can stay here for a few centuries. So I'm gonna jump out of here. Take another downstairs, and I'm good to go. It's really cool with this power leap, because it feels like a free controlled blink, which has no investment into invocations or evocations. And look, it's the longsword of distortion. Ic0n, you need to do something. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna blink and put myself into a terrible situation instead. Ain't that nice? Alright, jokes aside, I'm stuck here. But somehow I feel this is still a better situation than standing next to the Orc Warrior with a longsword of distortion. So, is there any way for me to interrupt this guy? I mean, he just began his word of recall. I feel like I want to try to acid him down, because he's hit 3 of these guys at once, and it feels like a good idea. Although now it's only him. But if I can get rid of him, yes, I could. So now everything's fine. So, apart from this guy standing next to me again. So I'm gonna blink again. No biggie. I think I'm gonna shoot him down with my crossbow. That should work. Yeah. As long as I notice distortion brands, I really like to kill these guys at a distance to avoid random banishments. There's only a 4% chance of this happening, but actually, well, 4%. I miscast this spell a few moments ago with 3% chance in my first spell cast, so that stuff does happen. Alright. But not this time. This time I got out there quickly enough. And it turns out this room is pretty aggressive here. Although the stone giant took in a whack by himself. That's cool. I like that when I do that. Alright, as much as I'd like to just run into their faces and smack them all, it's easier and safer to kite back here. And is there anything I can do? No. So I can learn Lesser Beckoning now, and that's what I'm gonna do. This spell will turn out really useful. And there we are. I'm gonna power leap into these dudes because I really want to kill the Necromancer. And that worked out. But this power leap does a lot of noise. I didn't know that actually. Okay, Vault Sentinel. 26% chance of marking me. It's quite a lot. Sadly, my silence is not online yet, and I got the mark. So now shit is on me. I do have a cancellation potion, and I think that's what I'm gonna do here, because this situation is not cool at all. I don't have cleared this level too much, and this stuff in my face is already pretty much to be concerned about. Don't need more of that. Actually, I'm pretty concerned here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna blink first, because I don't see me winning this situation. Oh, thanks, blink. That was the wrong direction. Okay, so change of plans. I have a ton of haste potions on me. I also could just go into Apocalypse here. Oh, I'm exhausted. Silly me. Used the power leap a few moments ago. But yeah, I'm gonna flee for now. That's too much. I didn't go into blink because I only have 4 scrolls of that. And with 9 potions of haste, I feel like I can also go into haste here. Hi, Boris. How are you today? Annoying dude. Yeah, that's also a thing. I feel like I need to park him somewhere else. Come with me, Boris. We're gonna take a trip. Follow me. It's gonna be fun, promise. Had some haste left off. That was pretty useful because now I have the distance to keep him away from me and just let him on waltz 1. I hate this guy. He's just so annoying. Alright. But not too dangerous at this point, luckily. Let's check this downstairs. Okay, they're all pretty close to this danger zone after all. But I feel like this downstairs is a good thing, is a good way to go. So this one was it, right? Right. Let's go there. Without some annoying Boris in my way. Alright. Let's have a look. And with this area around me, it should be much more easy to kill this army somehow, because I have some corners and choke points available where I can break lines of sight more effectively. But that's certainly a lot of guys here, and I feel like it's a good good situation to bring up something. But what? I have a potion of agility on me. That's exactly what I was thinking about. Something that can help me to avoid some damage, because this fight will hurt. I'm not gonna making myself some illusions here. This fight's gonna hurt. Alright. I don't want to be not resistant to electricity while this dude is around, so I'm gonna swapping into that. Alright. Next step will be stepping around this corner. I might be using Apocalypse. Actually, well, I don't know yet. It's 50-50. I feel like this fight is also winnable on my own, especially with the agility going on. So everything's down to this fight with the dragon now. If he hurts me too much, I need to do something else. If I can kill him safely, I can finish off this fight on my own. Ooh. Takes a while to kill the beast. There we go. I'm still up at 50% of my health. That should be okay as long as I can take down the Reaver without too terrible outcomes, but yeah. Looked like he just fireballed himself, and well, that was the end of the Tango Reaver. Silly bird. Alright, we got this. Very nice. I need to swap my accessories here because the electricity ring leaves me vulnerable to cold, and that's actually something I don't want to have permanently. It's not too good. Alright. I think this situation is solved, and was a good use for the agility potion here. I feel like I had lots of value out of this usage. Alright, so let's check this skill training for a moment. I'm learning very slowly due to the aptitude sacrifice, but that's okay actually. I really want to have some more spell levels, but I also want to have hexes available. And for now, I feel like spell casting is done. Really, don't need more of that. So For now, I want to focus a bit into air magic, because I really need that to get silence going. And the deeper I get into this, the more useful gets silence. It's a very, very nice spell to shut down all this stuff when you're having not enough magic resistance, especially. That's the point where silence is a very nice spell to work around your weakness. And that's what I want to do, as quick as possible. But the Lesser Beckoning is a very useful spell because you can catch elusive enemies with that, like orb spiders. And there's a Book of the Sky. It only offers me silence. Deflect missiles would be pretty sweet too. But that's also a level 6 spell. I don't know if I'm able to achieve that many spell ranks. So for now, I'm gonna leave it here. And I know that deflect missiles isn't the game. That's all I need. Alright. So Waltz 3 is finally some challenge. Waltz 1 and 2 were pretty chill. Enchant Armor. Nice. The Reflection Shield is getting somewhere. I'm enchanting it, and probably I'm never able to find a single amulet that's worth swapping over, but well, ow, this dude, he just tormented me. What the hell? That's something, well, I can't remember when the last time a necromancer actually did that to me. I'm baffled. It's been a long time, old chap, since someone made that. You should be proud. Well, I'm eating you. Stupid human. Alright, let's go. Draconian power. Was really spooky. I haven't had that since a long time. Speaking of spooky, this thing can paralyze me. That's also very spooky. But the Orb of Eyes, the Great Orb of Eyes, got blinded by Rue. Huh. Gotta love this guy. Rue, you have some sense of humor. Alright, I'm getting pretty beaten up here because I feel like it was not the brightest of ideas to fight it like that. Turns out, Rue's sense of humor distracted me. Alright, what I'm gonna do. I don't want to get smacked by this red guy in the back. But this Frost Giant is also pelting me down like crazy. And let's try this Lesser Beckoning thing. I'm gonna pull him to me, and it's basically the same situation, but I feel like attacking the green guy was a hard mistake. So I'm trying to kill the Bardage wielder here. Or was it Bardage? No, Glaive. That guy dealt a ton of damage to me. I realized that a bit too late. Alright, but everything's good. I was thinking about healing myself with the Rue power, but turned out I didn't need that. At some point I need to use a potion of heal wounds to know how bad it is with the sacrifice I did. And I got marked again. But actually this is a very good spot to get marked. So come my friends. I'm here waiting for you. Well, most of this level is already explored, so the mark wasn't that dangerous. That's why I didn't need to cancel it out. The other one was really dangerous before. But cancellation potions, yeah, they're pretty rare, and I always cling to them a bit. Don't want to spend them for nothing. Because you can cleanse corrosion off with it. It's also very, very useful. Because in some situations you can pretty much lose your life because you're corroded too hard. Alright, but not this time. I have still 2 cancellation potions on me. Should be enough for a lot of stuff. Okay, this can get pretty ugly pretty quickly. Yeah, there we go. The first trolls got hasted and now they get mighted. But I am standing on a good spot here. But what am I gonna do? Am I gonna stand and fight? I feel like I should be able by now. So First of all, I need to bring down this Shaman. This guy with all his buffing, he's so annoying. Stop buffing these guys. Alright, I don't want to get surrounded like that, but looks like I can't avoid it, but yeah. I'm not as weak as the last time when I had this situation. That's really cool to see. There's another great Orc of Eyes. We had some good times with the Last of Your Kind. Alright. Ooh, that's a bunch of orcs. But, well, I need to break the line of sight, because the wizards can summon demons, and if they summon too many demons, well, this could get a bit more complicated, but now I got rid of the sorcerers. That was pretty much everything I needed to do. There we go. More orcs incoming, but that's okay. Enchanted longsword. Just realized I didn't check the sword again. I really want to get more accustomed to this behavior because it's really, really cool if you're having it in your behavior pattern to check out the magical weapons the enemies wield. I mean, this is especially important for the early game. At this stage of the game, I can live through some mistakes. Ooh, speaking of mistakes, there's some grave mistakes to be made here if I do that wrong. Okay, I'm gonna power leap into this demonologist because I really want to bring this guy down as first. And now I'm standing right next to this annihilator. Well, he has crystal spear, which can hurt me a lot. So I'm gonna pop my last scroll of silence here because pretty soon I will be able to cast silence on my own, and I actually don't want to risk that this thing here blows up on me. So I'd rather be safe than sorry. Silence is getting somewhere. Those ranks in air magic do something. That's really cool. Silence is only a level 5 spell after all, so I should be getting there pretty soon. And as soon as Silence is online, Elf 3 will be a breeze. I'm gonna be slaughtering down there as much as I like to. And that's pretty much the objective around here. But with this slow learning, I'm a bit concerned that I won't be able to make it with this level of the vaults to bring Silence to a castable spot. Hey, ugly things, why don't you come at me? What's up? They were standing there and waiting and changing their colors. Weird things. Dead things. There we go. Oh. Well, okay. Summon some friends. You are all alone. It's boring if it's only one enemy. There we go. Alright. I feel like this level should have some nasty surprise up his sleeve here. Vaults 4 can contain some really ugly stuff. But for now it's only popcorn stuff here. Ogres, ugly things, easy stuff. Waiting for the nasty surprise. New ring. 2 new rings actually. Oh, that's the nasty surprise. I see. Well, that's ring of protection from fire. Let's remove this curse, and I'm gonna put on the usual stuff. Drop this, and wear this. I'm gonna drop this plain ring of protection from fire too. I don't feel like I need that too much. And reflection, I don't want to auto pick up that. So this stuff all doesn't need to be in my pocket anymore. So this stone giant killing himself on my shield, love it. And the ring. Is this the ring of slaying I'm waiting for? No. It's a lousy little ring of fire. Sad. A ring of slaying would be really some nice topping on this character. I feel like That would make me a lot more confident for the late game, because from time to time I realize this +9 Scimitar of Flaming is not optimal. I mean, this should suffice to end the game, but I really would prefer some Scimitar of Electrocution. That would be way better, because Flaming, well, the base damage of the Scimitar is not high enough to make Flaming the ideal brand. Long story short. So, but I feel like I'm a bit stuck with this thing. Oh, a rapier. What are you? Huh. Nah. Makes me weak. Don't want to be weak, because I don't wear armor. Well, I could afford to lose the strength, but this rapier is not that strong. It's +5 holy weapon, I give it that. But I feel like my +2 holy falchion does scimitar does equally much than the rapier here. I was considering it because of the cross training here the Longblades provides, and I feel like I have a new pair of boots. Yes, I have a new pair of boots. It's certainly annoying that my dexterity gets lower and lower along this run, but this extra pip of magic resistance is awesome. That's exactly what I needed to feel a lot more safer. The +2 to intelligence doesn't hurt either, so that should help a lot. Nice. Still no good book. Well, it looks like I'm really stuck with this stuff I'm hanging around on. I mean, it's okay. It's a nice set of spells to finish the game with. Ugh. Turns out that this situation is a bit more ugly than I thought. This dragon came in, and a Necrosec. I don't want to get mutated, so those mages go crazy back there. I'd really like to get rid of them, because this smoke devil can smite me. I feel like some acid is in order. That will do a lot of damage to these guys. And turns out I got rid of the demon summoner, and that was another one can summon demons too, it seems. Alright, but yeah, I got rid of the smoke demon and the Necrosec. Those Tarantellas are pretty scary too, though. I want to cure into that. And I want to power leap into this guy's face. And luckily I hit the one with the Tarantella, so that threat is gone. Alright, that was a pretty brutal fight. Certainly some worthy enemy. And if I had silence online, this fight would have been a lot easier. So, but we're getting there. It's at 14% now. I wonder how high I should put air magic for this, but I feel like I want to bring it to 6 and then swap over to hexes. That should suffice, but I really want to have it in 6 just to be sure. I feel like 5 could be enough, but nah. Or maybe because it's a rank 5 spell, I don't know. I never got the numbers behind that, and if you do, well, please feel free to enlighten me. So, yeah. Gonna bring it to 6 because I want to do it like that, and I'm gonna switch over to hexes, if I'm still alive, that is. Somehow I feel like I should die every single episode, some gruesome death, but somehow this guy keeps surviving. Alright. The Sphinx. Let's check it. 1% of the bad stuff. Alright. Very sweet. That's very cool. Feels good to be able to withstand all this crap. Ugh. Who summoned all this crap? Those are shadow creatures. Is this guy the dude? Huh. So the situation is escalating pretty hard here. I took in a lot of damage already. And I want to get rid of this mage though. I want to find out if he's the source of these creatures. So I'm gonna lightning once more. Oh, this shitty wand. I feel like lightning wands don't do enough. Alright, so he wasn't the source. That means some of these bad guys here had a scroll of summoning in his pocket, I guess. That's what happened here. I'm gonna try if I can fear out of this situation. So I shoot off a lot of these dudes. That's cool. I think if I power leap out of this situation like here, I should be fine. Let's regen back up. And I'm gonna fall back to the stairs here. Alright. Do I heal up? Yeah, I'm gonna heal up. Some of these guys are mited, and it's way easier if they're not, so I can regen heal up here. And I want to check how my spell hunger goes. Oh, no. It was that. Alright. So regen is at no hunger anymore. That's pretty sweet. But silence will be pretty costly. Alistair's costly too. Alright, but it's cool to know that my regen is at no hunger already. So I can spam this freely without suffering too much spell hunger. Because that's something I run into regularly when I play Transmuters. They get always at the point, at least with my playstyle, where I end up with a terrible amount of spell hunger. Because Transmuters tend to spam some high level spells at some point. Be it Blade Hands, well, level 5 is high level-ish. Or Statue Form, which is level 6, and here I'm sitting right in front of a lot of level 5 and 6 spells too. So Transmuters tend to get hungry. But enough rambling here. We have an interesting fight in front of us. So this Annihilator is pretty harmless as long as I have something blocking the line of sight. And this way I was able to kill off the Stone Giant pretty easily, but turns out I think I got an iron shot. Alright. I'm pretty low already, so I feel like I want to draw out power. With this amount of HP, I should be able to withstand a single crystal spear. But I feel like I want to blow up a scroll of fog. Maybe this will... Nah. Didn't work with the archer, but I was fine. Didn't take in another hit. I mean, crystal spear can do up to 144, I think. But I felt like this should work. I was asking a bit to die there, but that happens from time to time. Part of the game. Alright, so I'm done with Waltz 4 here. I don't feel like going for Waltz 5 yet. So I don't have silence yet. That's pretty sad, because Depth 3 looks really spooky to me. And I don't feel like going for L3 without silence available. Alright, so turns out I need to go into the depths once more. Guess I'm gonna say hi to Boris along the way. Let's see, another wizard. Yeah, 0% now. Very nice. I mean, that's gonna help something with the depths, because a lot of stuff which was more dangerous is now a lot more manageable. Silence is at 13. Very good. I'm getting there. I'm really getting there. I mean, it produces a lot of contamination in the case of miscasting it, but it also, well, it's at the spot where I can start relying on it. Alright, but I'm still gonna go for... No, actually I'm not. You know what, guys? We're gonna go for Elden Halls. I have the magic resistance up to avoid the banishment. Good enough. And I feel like these 13% of silence are perfectly enough to clear this up. So first off, I'm gonna magic map into this level. I want to see where the final vault is. So we're gonna close out this area. This is a very sad setup. And well, actually I'm pretty lucky that I have silence on me, because in this layout, this fortress layout means I don't have too many chances to dig out kill holes, because these are all permanent walls. You can't change them. It's one of the harder layouts, I'd say. But for me, with silence, this should be doable more easily, that is. And there we are. The Shield of Reflection is online too, if I need it. But first off, I would need a better amulet. But I can't find that down here. That's actually the thing why I want to do this. Because the elves here tend to have really good artifacts on them. Depending on the ending, that is. That's certainly interesting. We're gonna have some electric eel in the moat around the fortress. Well, elves. They do love to have some style. Alright. I want to check when air magic hits 6. And I also noticed that my wands are pretty used up. And I have one wand, scroll of recharging. I'm gonna put this into the wand of acid. This one has served me best so far. The wand of lightning, well, I guess I don't have enough evocations for that. Alright, a scroll of noise. Ain't that nice? Enchant weapon. Very good. My falchion, my other scimitar is slowly getting somewhere. And I finally found a new scroll of amnesia. This means I can forget Ic0n. And this also means I can learn a new spell, which will be darkness, I guess. But no, actually missing another spell level first. I feel like rapid deconstruction could be very handy too. But, oh, what do we have here? Nothing too exciting, actually. That's a bit sad. Another eel. Can I eat you, eel? I'm hungry. Thank you, eel. Trident of piercing. It's nothing to worry about. Alright, so it's time for the finale. I am down at 12% chance of failing silence now. That's pretty okay, I'd say. And it's time to get rid of the exclusions. It's Shift X and then Control E to get rid of the exclusions, and Shift X and the letter E will put down exclusions. That's very useful because you can turn off the auto explorer for pretty dangerous areas, and I really like to do so. Alright. I want to avoid the mid, and actually the point is we have 3 entrances here, and most of the bad stuff here is in the middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to exclude all these doors for now, mainly as a visual marker which doors I don't want to open by accident, because they are all are dangerous doors in this fortress. And this way I can also auto explore inside this fortress. So that's the thing here. That's the idea. Alright, we have Ic0n. 140 hit points and a lot of poison. So that means I'm gonna put up the poison resistance first, because this will get ugly if I don't. And what I'm gonna do I have some nice stuff available? Doesn't look so. Does beastly appendage do? Gives me horns. Well, I don't know if that helps actually anymore. My unarmed combat is pretty lousy. I stopped relying on that a long while ago. But turns out Ic0n is pretty doable. He slowly dies while I don't take too much damage. That was pretty easy. I wanna have seen visible on though. Feel better with it. Okay. So expect some lesser resistance from the outer rooms, but well, this is a very dangerous corner because these doors were opened by the ambient noise. And I really want to try if I can close these again to get rid of any extra enemies from the center. Because I want to have these hallways as empty as possible when I enter in the middle. Even if I'm well prepared with silence and such, I always respect the ending areas of the Elven Halls, because the combination of enemies down here can really wreak havoc upon you. So yeah, I've lost a few characters on L3, and I guess most of us have. Alright, it's time for the truth. But first, let me kill the hand axe. Alright, so it's time to get rid of the exclusions here. And turns out my air magic should be high enough after the drains. And this is the point where I'm going to invest into hexes again. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to focus shields now for a little bit, because I want to get it to 15. And this draining is really annoying, because that means I will be suffering a lot worse chances of silencing. Damn, that's something I didn't take into concern. Turns out I'm a bit too early here. Okay, let's fall back for now. I really want to divide and conquer this as much as possible. I mean, overall, I'm pretty set with this kind of scenario. And as long as I can bring silence to a yellow level, I should be pretty fine. I'm killing these guys pretty easily. It's actually good. Alright, he doesn't have banish. So he should be pretty easy to kill. Alright. I hope the draining wears off pretty soon. Let's take this corner this time. Alright. I'm mostly worried about the demonologists, because they can summon greater demons, and that's always when stuff can get really ugly really quickly. Alright, but the first demonologist went down pretty smooth. So this Blade Master is having 2 quick blades with no branding. That relieves me a bit. Those guys are really dangerous when they have good branded weapons or some artifacts, because he's really chunking me down with these 2 quick blades, and I don't seem to be able to wound him at all. Whoa. So I'm gonna rely on the acid here. Let's check if I can swing him down, because the acid ones also corrode your enemy, and they get the same debuffs as we do when we get corroded. Okay, a couple of death mages. Those are, well, if they wouldn't drain, they would be actually pretty harmless, but draining here certainly annoys me a lot. Alright, I have a demonologist in my line of sight, and that's what I don't want to have. I'm gonna power leap into his face and smack him down as quick as possible, because I don't want to have greater demons hanging around here. And this one was an earth elemental summoner, and those are always pretty easy to kill, because as long as you can survive the earth elementals, they will always close in into melee at some point. It's pretty stupid behavior of those deep elf, but they all think they're Rambo. They all will run into your face and try to kill you with their weapons. It's something they don't avoid melee combat. Alright, time for lesser beckoning, I'd say. Okay, he's out of range, but that's where this spell really shines, because you can pull these guys in your face again when they try to avoid you. And that's why I love this spell. It certainly helps you a lot. And I've found an amulet Ugh, I hate it. No, no. So I didn't have identified harm yet, but an amulet of regeneration would be really sweet to have. And I don't need this reflection amulet anymore. But the thing is, I'm saving these ID scrolls for the trove down there. And, well, tough decisions. I also have a rendered ring here. Hello there. What's your story? So this is resist fire and resist negative. That's actually pretty cool. I think I want to keep this for now, because invisibility, well, I can switch into it if I need to. But this will certainly help me a lot against these draining attacks down here. So let's keep it for the rest of Elf-3 and hope this will change something about the draining problem. This is certainly a shapeshifter. Okay. These lost souls are so annoying. They will resurrect this thing as well as the Death Mage. So I'm gonna kill the Death Mage first. But I need the regen. I really need the regen. Alright. So I got rid of the shapeshifter. And I'm severely drained at this point. That's pretty obscene. And there goes this game again, telling me why are you still wielding this sword? Here's another axe. Should have gone axes, dude. And I'm like, no, actually not. Alright. Pretty ugly, pretty quickly. This Ice Fiend is bad news. I don't want to fight this. There's absolutely no needs to. Because this summon will despawn, and fighting this dude is just silly. So I'm gonna run out of this area, and I'm gonna go upstairs here for a moment. Turns out this is a mini pocket with some evil dudes inside. Alright, that's pretty annoying. Let's try this silence thing. Alright, it worked. I risked a bit here, but I felt like some risk here, because I knew that silence would help me a lot here. I was afraid the Death Mage could bring up some lost soul, and then I would be stuck with this Annihilator way too long. I didn't want that. So let's get back downstairs here, and let's slaughter this dude. You dare to summon a fiend into my face. I hate it when they do that. Fiends are mainly so dangerous because they can torment you, cutting your HP into half if you're having no resistance to negative energy at all. And okay, this also escalates pretty quickly here. Again, the lost souls here around me, these dudes, will resurrect anything that'll die around them, so I'm pretty much forced to kill the Death Mage first to get rid of the soul, and after that I can kill the other stuff. What's really obnoxious about these dudes, because they're not really dangerous on their own, but they force you to make wonky decisions in fights. Alright, so there's the next Blade Master. I had some trouble with the last one, so I'm gonna go into acid immediately, but it didn't work, didn't hit. So I'm gonna try that again. And he didn't get corroded, actually. It's a bit sad. I feel like the Master Archer, yeah, he just killed himself. That happens more often than not with these dudes then, because interestingly enough, the Master Archers are not reflecting missiles, while the little archers of the deep elves are. I always feel like this is very, very wonky and should be the other way around. The little ones shouldn't be deflecting, and the big ones should. Double Annihilator. Alright. Another Morning Star. Yeah, unique. That's pretty funny. It's another. This game is memeing me because you will cross-train maces and flails if you skill axes, and this game is doing it again. It's telling me Ic0n, we're still wielding swords. Have some nice mace. Okay, this is really bad. This is really bad. First off, I want to power leap into their faces, actually. I want to get rid of the little lost souls, and this power leap exactly did that. And somehow a large abomination showed up. Ugh. Well, that's 9%. It's pretty good, actually. What happened? Yeah, let's do this. I feel like that's the best way to deal with this situation, going into silence now. 9% is really good. Alright, so... I'm carrying around new stuff. So let's put up this ring. Cursed ring of loudness. And I'm silenced. Damn. Can't curse it. So let's drop this crap. We don't need that. Alright. And there's another scroll of recharging. That comes in handy. Can recharge my acid wand again. And there's this fine morning star. But I'm not looking at it. I'm not regretting my sword choice here. Oh, well, I am by now, to be quite honest. Alright, there we go. Feel like Elf 3 is almost done. Famous last words. No, jokes aside, I feel like I'm pretty through here. Most of the stuff has been taken care of. And it's now time for the loot. Oh wow, bunch of useless items. Thanks. More useless stuff. Thanks. At least some juicy fruits. That's something. And that's way better than eating stupid human and such. And more bolts and more evocables. Looks like this ending is focusing a lot about evocable items. It's pretty shitty for me. It's kind of like one of the worst endings, but let's see. There's at least 2 books. Hello there, Book of Annihilations. Fuck yeah. I'm not into this stuff. I'm very sorry, guys. I'm very sorry to tell you. Alright, another cloak. Let's check. Oh, it's strength +5. Wow. Holy crap. More crap than everything else. Sad. Alright, this lightning rod is actually something I'm a bit happy to see. And that's gonna replace the lightning wand. I wasn't happy with it in the first place. And there's a book of ice. Huh. Wow. Simulacrum would be pretty crazy, but I lost my love. So I can't use that either. Wow. That was one of the worst endings so far for Elf ever for me. Holy moly. Alright, looks like I'm stuck with some drunk party spell and some hexes for the ending of the game. Looks like we're down to this. Alright, let's go into depths. And that's gonna mark the ending of this episode. This run is really fun in its own ways, because I turned out to be some hybrid fighterish guy when I started out Transmuter. But, well, like I mentioned a few times ago, Transmuter is all about adapting into the situation. It's very important if you play that race, that background, because, well, you're not having the tools to finish the game with from the start, so you have to pick up some useful tools. And the transmutation book, I think I talked a bit bad about it. It's really useful for the early portion of the game in every single aspect. Don't get me wrong there, it's a good book overall. But there's nothing in there that can carry you along the game. Sticks to Snakes is kind of like the most useful long-term spell in this book. And that's it. But it's certainly interesting to play Transmuters because you never know where they'll end up. Well, in this case, I'm Silence and this and Drunkenness. That's something. Well, hope you enjoy this run as much as I do, and feel free to leave me some comment or some feedback or some like, because I really love to see some feedback on this work. I really enjoy this, and I certainly like to have some conversation about it. Apart from that, I hope you'll tune in again on the next episode. Until then, have a good time, and we'll see each other soon, I hope. Bye bye.